From the late 90s to the 2000s, there was a weird craze around FPS World War II shooters. Now, out of this craze, we did get a lot of great game series like Call of Duty, the Medal of Honor, and Battlefield, just to name a few. We also did get a lot of horrible half-baked budget shooters like the one I'm going to cover today. Now, this game does have a few upsides, a few parts that I did enjoy, but for the most part, it honestly just feels unfinished. Now, as much as the World War II shooters have fallen off today, I actually kind of still enjoy them a little bit. Even if they are like really mediocre or even a little bad, I get like a weird nostalgic feeling because I used to play these types of games all the time back in the day on my Xbox. That's probably why I didn't shut this game off after level 2. Today we'll be covering a game called World War II Combat Road to Berlin. This was a game released for Xbox and Windows in 2006, but looks like it was released in 2001. Now, this game was developed by Direct Action Games, which after searching them up, it only looks like they released 4 games, which are all low-budget FPS games. And they're all released within 3 years, so I'm guessing it's safe to say this company might have gone under. Now, after starting this game, you're meeting with these 2000s 3D rendered cutscenes that they thought were dope back then. Then you're thrown into one of the most ugliest title screens I've ever seen in my life. Not really sure why they chose a pixelated picture in the background, but I guess for 2006 this was passable. Now, after starting the game in the beginning of the mission, they give you a little overview in this screen. The first level is supposed to take place in some sort of burnt down city, but it just looks horrible. All the grays and the darkness just made it look really bland to me. And also, this setting right here is pretty much in every World War II shooter you can find out there. Now, I encountered my first couple enemies. I noticed how horrible the recoil would be in this game, at least for the Thompson. There's one thing I noticed about this game is that there's a huge difference in the quality in the weapons. Some of them are just absolutely horrible, and some of them actually feel pretty good to shoot. For the Thompson you start off with, I'd say it's probably one of the worst weapons you'd use. I'd honestly rather use the pistol. Now, as I was walking through this level, I just couldn't believe how bland and boring all the textures were. There is some decent lighting here and there, but for the most part, it's just dark and gray, boring color. After going to my second set of enemies and heading to this tank I'm supposed to blow up, I realized something that was really horrifying to me. I hadn't seen one med pack this entire level. Now, at first I thought they were just rare to come by or maybe hidden, but no, there are 0 health packs or any way to regen your health in this game. At the beginning of the level, you're dropped with 100 health, and I hope you survive till the end. Mix that in with shittily placed checkpoints, and this game turns into a rage machine, I can tell you that. Half the time I'd end up at a checkpoint with like 20 health, and I still got half the mission left. This was like the major problem with this game for me. I actually did enjoy it a little bit. Some of the settings were pretty cool, but with no health regen system, I just started to hate this game more and more as I played it. After blowing up this tank and dropping into this creepy little tunnel, you're given the objective to find the research HQ. So you shoot through some more enemies and you come out in a big clearing with a big building that's clearly the research center. And here you get your first look at some of your allies, which the AI for these guys is trash, to say the least. The AI for the enemies is honestly right there too, but they're a little bit smarter, luckily. But once you've opened up the gate with the lever, you gotta go around back and blow your way in through a hole in the wall. Now, in these tight, cramped quarters, I had a lot of trouble getting through this section. Again, with having the no health. The checkpoint is before you even get to the gate, and I only had 32 health to begin with, so by the time I was in the building, I was usually only at like 20 health. And these enemies usually get the first shot off on you. So after running into a couple, I'd usually be dead every time. After finding a way to shoot these enemies with a quick draw of Clint Eastwood, I started collecting documents that are on the table. There are also these whiteboards that you can take pictures of that will give you a bonus. There's lots of other stuff you can take pictures of that can get you this too, but I'm not really sure what it really does for you. I usually just got them if I ran into them and left it at that. After you grab all the documents, you kind of just walk outside and the level just ends. For the first level, this did not give me a really good picture of what this game would be like. Like I said, it does actually get a little bit better as it goes on, but I honestly have to say the worst level out of all the ones I played was this first one, which is a shame. You gotta start off on a good note, not a bad note. And the second level is a sniper level, which is my favorite type of level in these games. And the scenery's changed up too. It's a lot better than the bland grain booty city. Now, you're actually not allowed to pick up weapons. The 2 weapons they give you in the beginning of the level is what you gotta use. Now, after I popped this guy, I walked around for a while, kinda lost. But apparently I'm supposed to cut this barbed wire that I'm allowed to cut, but the barbed wire type next to it I'm not. This part don't make no sense. Now, this level is mostly just your standard lone sniper affair if you played these types of games before. I do like how spacious this level is and the fact that the sniper actually feels really good when you shoot it. It's one of the better guns you can get your hands on in this game. And I was kind of just walking through this level shooting enemies until an objective popped up that I was supposed to blow up these anti-aircraft guns. Which basically explains my whole gameplay experience with this game. Just walk around, shoot until something pops in front of your face. Now for being such a simple type game like that, you'd think that I'd be able to get these levels done real quick, but nope. The amount of times I died was absolutely insane. And it all boiled down to the fact that there's no way I can regain my health. So after I blow up this shit, I get another objective to blow up some more shit. Now this next little section, I actually like the scenery a lot. You're on like the cliff side, and even though there's a really shitty 2D background, it was a pretty cool scene to look around at, I'm not gonna lie. As you get jump scared walking down by the train, you need to blow up these 2 tanks and the train along with it in the second explosion, which looks pretty dope. After that, you walk into this cool looking bunker HQ where I had to kill like 8 enemies with 14 health. Still don't know how I did this one all with a pistol too, but hey, I'm just the best World War II gunslinger you've ever seen. After you walk down this long hallway, it just kind of fades to black. I did enjoy this level a lot more than the first one. I think the open spaces helped out a lot, and having a sniper rifle and all of them have pistols and rifles helps too. As much as enjoyment I get out of any of these levels, there's just as much frustration with that stupid health system. I have no clue why there's no way at all to get any health. It's just the stupidest thing to me. It makes it so much more frustrating than it needs to be. I'm honestly surprised I didn't break my fucking monitor playing this damn game. Now this next level is a bunker level, and already we're right back to the bland grayness. And at this point, I also realized this game was released in 2006, and it looks like a bad clone of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Which this game is great and all, but it was released in 2001, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree the graphics aren't the best part about it. But we do have our SMG with us, that probably suits us the best because this is a close quarter crammed ass level. This whole game is pretty much just linear shooter 101 besides those sniper levels that opens up a little bit. I pretty much just shot my way through this same looking brick hallway till I came to this little office area where I found a little bonus picture and a lever I can pull. I don't want to say how long it took me to find this lever. But after I shot through some people, I found my way to this big tank I was supposed to blow up, which is a really common thing in these World War II shooters, just blow something up onto the next objective. But I like the fact with this one, it actually blows away into the floor into the next section of the level, which is a pretty nice touch to me. So after another checkpoint, we're finally agreed to do some sort of new type of scenery. Guess we're in some sort of cave train station. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. But once you turn the corner, you just see another bunker section, so you know you're going right back to the blandness. After popping a few enemies, there was a little elevator I had to go down. Now here there's 3 big new missiles that the Germans have been working on that we're supposed to blow up in this big hangar. But as you're going through, enemies just kind of pop out of these doorways and train carts. If you don't have quick reflexes, you're probably not going to get through this level. Again, this is only the 3rd level. Now there's 3 of them to blow up. After the 3rd one, it just kind of fades to black, and that's the end of this level. Honestly, I'd say this level is probably the most uninspired, but that last section I actually liked a lot. That puts it above that first level for me for sure. Pretty much all the World War II shooters had these type of bunker levels, so that's why I guess it felt kind of uninspired to me. Again, I just think it's the close quarter SMG levels I just don't really like. Those are honestly probably the easiest type to make, so in a budget game, you'll probably see a lot of those. If you're not a World War II gunslinger, you ain't gonna make it through this one. Now, this next level is another sniper level. This one and the next one actually go together where you're trying to go after this German submarine in a base that's further on the island. You start out next to this boat with this really nuclear looking water. After you climb up the cliff, you gotta shoot your way through these little outposts that the Germans have set up, which will lead you into some sort of little rundown, blown up town. Now there's 2 bunkers you need to blow up with the dynamite, just your standard affair. Then after that, you need to go into another little building and shoot this radio. Which for some reason, after destroying their shit, they just decide to open up the big red gate that you couldn't get by before. Which is like every budget plot ever. After the gate, you're thrown into a section where they throw a shit ton of enemies at you, which took me a long time to finish because on this checkpoint, I only had 3 health. Once you finish all those off, you can call this big ass lift up here. And then descend down to the next bunker, which will be the next level. Now, even though I did enjoy this level off rip because it was one of the sniper levels, there was something about that color choice that just made it seem real bland to me. And also, I feel like I have seen this setting in a lot of other World War II shooters, so that could have been why too. There were also a lot of really frustrating sections where I was on like no health at the checkpoint, especially that last one right there. I think that took me like 10 minutes to get through. There's a point where the game is difficult and where the game is just bullshit, and the no health system is just bullshit to me, and it kind of got to me after a while. This next level is probably one of the best levels in this game, but also the level that made me quit, so take that for what it is. I like the lighting in this level, even though it might look way too dark on YouTube while playing it, it just looked really good. Kind of like a Deus Ex type lighting. You're in some huge underground cave base that literally has like houses in it. Now this next level you actually get the bar, which is a gun I don't use too much in these World War II games, but this one was actually really good. It had a slower rate of fire, but it killed the enemies faster to me. The damage is way higher than that shitty little Thompson we had earlier. So after you fight your way through these enemies, you just keep going deeper and deeper into this big ass base. Most of these levels in this game use kind of a rinse and repeat type system, but for the most part they change it up a little bit. Always having to be quick on your reflexes because these enemies pop out of nowhere kind of helps hide that a little bit. But I picked up this random key on this desk, found the door to use the key onto, after I popped this dumbass who wasn't even looking at me. I got a new objective to find a catwalk, which I'm guessing that means we're supposed to find where the submarine is at. So I popped my way through some more people in this wooden floor section. After I made my way upstairs, I finally found where the submarine was in this big ass hangar. Now this section took me so long to complete, due to the fact that at this checkpoint I only had 24 health and there's at least 12 different enemies in this one. Most of the time it honestly just came down to luck if the enemies were hitting me that round or not. I'm probably just gonna edit through most of it and spare you guys a lot of the deaths I encountered. But the main objective in this hangar was to destroy 3 sets of torpedo bays, which kind of doesn't make any sense. Aren't we supposed to blow up the big submarine they have? But whatever. But once I finally got all this done after, no lie, 20 minutes of trying in this one section, I was supposed to escape to this service boat, which I'm guessing is the end of the level. Fuck! Now because there's no health regen again, this entire next section I had to go through as a one-shot. Now I got through the first couple sets of enemies fine, but there's this one little section where I have to go through a vent, and I'm not sure if it's coded for this dude to shoot you once you pop out of it or what, but I could not get by this section for the life of me. And after already spending 20 minutes on that last section, I honestly decided to call it quits here. Now again, I do think this was the best level out of all of them. I had the most varied location, but I think it was a little too long just for their no health system. So in the end, I ended up just getting caught in some death loop that I could never get out of. So that's where I ended my playthrough of World War II Combat Road to Berlin. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they should have shortened up that title a little bit. They could have just called it Road to Berlin or something. But I'm guessing they were trying to make like a series out of this, maybe the new Call of Duty type bullshit. But it didn't really go anywhere. You can't release a game in 2006 that looked like it was released in 2001. It did have some parts in there that I did enjoy, but that health system was just horrible. I could not get around that. Now, there actually was a second game released a few months later. After playing this one, I'm pretty sure that one's just going to be the same thing, just with some different environments. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe if you did. Try to post some more videos like this if you end up liking them. It's kind of trying a new type of content real quick. I always have like older FPS games, and I was trying to think of some way I could make a video about it without just having a straight up gameplay or something. But thank you all you guys for the support. The channel's been going like crazy recently, and it's all thanks to y'all. If you have any other weird old games you want me to cover, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. I guess other than that, I'll just see you in the next one. Peace.